This is the Pocket Players Podcast, episode 33.
September Pokemon Direct.
So yes, we are back once again for another episode of the Pocket Players Podcast, the podcast for the portable gamer. I'm Casey, and with me is Rin for the win.
Hi.
Yes, you're here for a very special... Actually, originally we had planned to do the episode today about the budget gaming, but then this this Pokemon Direct just turned out to be so chock full of stuff to talk about. Just couldn't say no.
Indeed.
But I'm still prepping. I'm pretty hyped about the panel we announced last week that we're going to be doing at the New York Comic Con. I started preparing for it. It's really hard to focus when it's such a wide topic and you have only so much to talk for only a little bit of time because you have to leave time for everyone else to talk. And that's always the trick on this sort of thing. So I don't know if anyone wants to help me decide what's the most important things about Pokemon communities from the earliest days. If anyone has any really good things to bring up, you can always leave those comments in the show notes so I can try to work those things in, because I only want the gold. I only want the most important stuff. Oh, but hopefully JV said he might come in for the Comic-Con, so he might actually be able to join us. I really hope he will.
Nice.
Yeah, he said he's flying in because he wants to be here for the Pokemon XY release in New York, so I might be able to drag him in for that.
Lucky.
So what's new? Oh.
I said lucky.
Oh. Yeah. So what's new with you, Madam Rin?
Pretty much same old here. Well, eagerly awaiting Pokemon. And what else is coming out? They got the Legend of Zelda's coming out, which I really want to get. The 3DS one and the Wind Waker. They've got the new content patch for World of Warcraft coming out, which I'm very excited about because I've been playing World of Warcraft for 7 years now.
Yeah, you still do weekly raids, right?
I try to when work allows me.
Yeah, what's it called? I hope to get into that. I hope that Final Fantasy XIV will be the first MMO I get into that seriously. I'm kind of feeling it. I'm kind of getting. I've already gotten further in it than I do in most MMO. I've never gotten to end game in an MMO. I never get to max level. I always feel like it takes way too long, and I just kind of drift and. I don't have the focus to grind that much, but I always know that that's where it's at, that's where the game begins, so to speak, for a lot of people.
You remind me of what we call in World of Warcraft an altaholic, except you don't have alts. You just you level a little bit and then you stop and you go find another game.
I am a bit of an altaholic. I get tired of one class. And then I want to try something else, and I just want to spice things up, and I get too tired of I feel like I'm doing the same thing over and over. But I think that's why 14 works for me, because you don't make alts. You could just change your class with the same character.
Okay.
And you even get kind of rewarded because you can if you learn an ability under one class, you can equip it to another class, and it kind of makes things useful like that. So
interesting. It
might work.
See, I've been playing the exact same character for 7 years. So I have a couple of alts, but I don't play them very often.
Did you ever regret anything you did with your character creation, or does that not matter since you could just alter them again?
Well, they've added in a lot of stuff that you can alter in with the characters now in World of Warcraft. They have barber shops and you can change their hair color and their style and all that stuff like that. So as far as my main character goes, not really. My hunter has kind of an ugly face that I can't really do anything about anymore now. But aside from that, it doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you do Netflix at all?
Not really.
Okay. I just noticed something. If anyone's listening, if they use Netflix, because they've just been doing something kind of weird and annoying lately. When you're perusing the streaming stuff, they have all the movies or the shows, the covers are available to look at, so you can see, all right, this is whatever the cover of this movie would look like. Okay. But what they did was they started using the covers from seasons of episodes, seasons of shows that it doesn't have available yet. I wanted to watch. I've been watching The Walking Dead when it comes out, and then I saw ooh, there's a new cover. That's the cover from season 3. And I click it, and it's still only got season 2. I'm like, why are they doing that? Why are they teasing me?
That's
bunch
terrible.
of shows. Yeah, it's a bunch of shows. They're doing that to me, and it's getting my hopes up because they're really not updating their shows as much as they should. And I don't use cable or nothing. I don't know if you use cable. You have
Not
cable
really.
TV? No. Because we don't get cable here. I mean, we get it. We just haven't had it for a while. And I've been using Netflix as my main TV source. But
I don't watch a whole lot of TV. I mean, my mom has cable, but I don't have a cable into my TV here in my room. I just use it for video games. Or for, like, DVDs or something like that. But
yeah, I got DVDs mostly, though, too. I mean, I still have to get through. I just recently got season 2 of Game of Thrones, and I gotta get through that.
That's one series I have yet to watch.
Okay. Have you read the books at all?
No.
Okay.
I probably should, as big of a fantasy geek as I am. But, no,
You'll
I
like
haven't.
it. You'll like it. When you get to the time, you should definitely give it a shot. No one I know has been disappointed with it.
Okay.
All right, and I wanted to, before we get into like what we're playing, I definitely wanted to give a big congratulations to our own Wolfie, our social media manager, who is moving on. He has actually been working with us, promoting the site through different social networks and being on the forums. And he finally got a real job, a paying job, as a social media manager.
Nice.
Thanks in part to his experience here, and he's taking that over there. And he said maybe when he has time, he can help us out with the stuff he learns from his full-time job. But I just wanted to kind of give a official send-off and pat on the back to the guy.
Congrats, Wolfie.
And just as a sign to anyone else who wants to help work on the site, booyah. Working for us gets you paid money from other people.
So, where's my money then?
You go find someone else who'll pay you to work with. Anyway, so, other than WoW, have you been playing anything interesting lately?
Minecraft. Lots of
On
Minecraft.
the PC?
Oh, yeah. Okay, I know they have Minecraft on, like, the Xbox, and they're releasing on the PS4, and I'm really curious if the PS4/PS Vita version is going to be, like, a port of the Xbox version, or if it's going to be its own thing, or if it's going to be, like... Because there's, like, 5 different versions of Minecraft. They have, like, the main one on the PC.
Right.
They have, like, Minecraft Portable, or whatever it is, that was on, what was it called? Xperia Play? Is that what the little thing is? And then they have the Xbox version. And they're all very different. None of them have, none of them have all the stuff that the PC version does, but some of them are a little bit closer than, like, I think the Xbox version has, like, most of the stuff at this point, and then, like, the portable one is, like, very, pared down.
Right.
So.
I mean, the main thing people complain is that none of the portable ones will have the add-ons or the special mods. And, I mean, that is a lot of the appeal to it. I can tell. Well, I know that's one of the things I wanted most drawn to it, but...
Well, I guess that kind of goes without saying, because, any PC game that gets ported to a console or a handheld, that's the case.
Right.
There's...
I know that they even said there was some interview with Nintendo of America people, and they kind of asked them, like, hey, what about, how come it's coming to everything but, like, Wii and 3DS? Like, is there any plans? They're just like, we really, I mean, no. I mean, they didn't say it, but they kind of made it clear. Nah,
the
it's really
Nintendo
not
people
on our radar.
or the Mojang people?
No, these are the Nintendo people.
Oh.
Well,
they're
I'm pretty sure they're in
stupid.
Nintendo
Why wouldn't they want Minecraft? It's so successful.
They just kind of said, it's a great game. We love Mojang. It's just we don't have any plans for that. So that's it.
Oh, whatever.
It would work well with the touchscreen, I think.
Yeah, they could get that to work.
I mean, it does work already on the touchscreen for like the iPhone ones. Yeah, obviously. But I've been playing something very similar to that. I'm trying to kind of compare 2 games, actually, that are in the same genre. Terraria and Junk Jack X.
Okay, I never heard of that one, Junk Jack.
Yes, Junk Jack X. See, that one was a game that was made specifically for the iOS, and just from what I've heard of it, it's definitely, the controls are more adapted to it. It even has some multiplayer functionality. For the iOS version, it was a piece, but Terraria is a PC game that was ported to Xbox 360 and was brought over also now to iPhone. And that's the one I just started playing, but I'm also going to give Junk Jack a try. But Terraria has a much more RPG feel so far. I haven't tested Junk Jack yet, but it's a 2D, same thing, go mining, build stuff. But there's a little bit of a thing where when you build a house, as long as it has all the requirements for someone to live in, you can get people who live in this house, and you can then build like a city basically, and you attract people, and you might get salesmen, you get money from the zombies you kill at night, and it's kind of interesting. I mean, there's actually people to talk to, and there's a lot more like action-y stuff going on, and it's so I think I'm gonna get into that. We'll see how far I get, and I'll compare it to Junk Jack.
I wanted to get into Terraria when it first came out, but it's Windows only, or it was anyway. Now they've got it on what was it, iPhone?
Yeah, this is on. Yeah, it's on iPhone,
which I still don't have anyway. So.
Right, but I'm kind of. I wish it had multiplayer. That would be really cool if it had any kind of multiplayer feature, but that is not available. On it.
You mean on the iPhone one?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it does on the PC.
Oh, it does. Okay.
Yeah. It's kind of similar to Minecraft. You can set up a server and have your friends and stuff play on it.
I like snowy locations, and I like that I started in a location that's like constantly snowing. So I'm like in Arctic. It feels very survivalish to me, and I like being in a cabin surrounded by frosted zombies.
It reminds me of what I've been doing in Minecraft actually quite a bit. There's a total overhaul mod that I've been playing for Minecraft called Terra Firmacraft.
Okay.
Which does its best to make everything a little bit more realistic. Like, you can't break stone with a wooden pickaxe. You can't even make a wooden pickaxe. You have to, like, find, like, little ore nuggets, like, on the ground and like, then melt them down in a clay pot and pour them into a mold and make, like, a little copper pickaxe or whatever before you can even start mining.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's crazy hard, but it's fun.
Okay, that's cool. I like that.
And zombies are terrifying. Oh my god.
See, in these games, they're definitely still cutie. They're cartoony. So they're not like as scary. And what's the thing, since it's 2D, they can't sneak up on you. It's so much easier to keep track of two directions than 360.
Well, I mean, since the latest update with Minecraft, the 1.6 that they put out, zombies were kind of like the joke mob of Minecraft, because they were so easy and they made noise and you knew they were coming and they weren't very fast, right? And they're really easy to kill. Well, now there's a chance that it'll have like a baby zombie, which is like half the height of a regular zombie, and they move super fast, so they're really annoying. And on top of that, if you attack one, every zombie within like 50 bazillion miles will come charging after you.
That's funny.
And if you hit them, there is a chance they will spawn more.
Jeez.
It's insane.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff they need to get on the handheld ones, if they aren't already. I just want that terrified feeling.
Oh, God.
Now, wait, those aren't the ones that they'll blow up, though, right?
No, that's
the creepers.
That's creepers that blow up, yeah.
Yeah, because that's the thing that causes the biggest problems, right? When they blow up your house.
Oh, God. I had one of those blow up, and then I got sieged by zombies, and I died.
Boo.
Yeah, creepers haven't really changed much. Though they're a little bit smarter now. They won't just fall into a hole or walk into a cactus. But aside from that, they haven't really changed.
That's cool. I also was playing some Plants vs. Zombies 2 because that came out recently. And this one actually went free to play. And it's really, I don't know if I totally am on board with this shift in pricing, because I liked paying like whatever $2 I did for the original game, and I like feeling confident that I'm going to get all the different plants by the end of it, and I'm going to try everything out. But in this one, I'm getting a lot of new plants, and it's kind of fun going to, like, I'm in ancient Egypt because I'm just the beginning, and fighting off the mummy zombies there. But then every so often they're like, hey, if you have 4 keys, which you can buy with cash, by the way, you can unlock this cool plant. And I'm like, I want that plant. I don't want to pay for it, though.
Right.
And I kind of feel like I'm missing out. I'm like, I want those plants for these stages. I don't know if like they'll eventually give me stuff in game to unlock them. If I just play a lot, will I get them? Or do I have to pay sooner or later to unlock them? But it doesn't feel right for Plants vs. Zombies.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they're making more money this way. I guess they gotta be, because that is like one of the games that I could see people they're gonna download this, and people are gonna want all these extras.
I'm kind of glad WoW hasn't decided to go free to play with that
Yeah.
scheme. I mean, yeah, $15 a month kind of sucks, but you don't have to worry about, people buying all the good gear instead of earning it. I mean, you
Right.
can buy stuff from them, but it's like, vanity pets and mounts and stuff that doesn't really make a difference. It just looks cool.
Right, yeah, you gotta give them credit. They stick, because they have enough. I mean, that's why I kind of like the subscription games. I've played free-to-play MMOs, and a lot of them are really good, but there's just that psychological thing, knowing that, did I lose this duel because I was less skilled, or did he spend money on something?
Mm-hmm.
And I hate thinking of that. And yeah, as long as it's only aesthetics, and that's fine, or just like comfort items, I can live with that in the
Right.
game. And you can pay for some silly stuff like pets and other things in WoW.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I guess
but I mean that's about it though. That's the only that, and I think they have like some. They have a thing in World of Warcraft called transmogrification, where you can make your armor look
right,
like
yeah.
other types of armor without actually having to wear the armor, the other
right,
armor.
the stats. Yeah.
So if you have like a really old, armor set that's not any good anymore, but it looks really cool, you can make your current armor look like that instead. And they have some pieces that you can buy that are just pretty.
I guess the difference, though, is since Plants vs. Zombies isn't a versus game, it's only a one-player game, it's not as big a deal,
Right.
I guess. I mean, I'm probably going to still play the game, but I don't know if I'm ever going to feel the urge to buy anything in it. But we'll see. We'll see how people treat it. Jump into some quick Sony news here. Okay, so for those of you who have PlayStation Plus, your freebies this month are going to be Rayman Origins for the Vita, and you can get Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories for both Vita and PSP. Kind of funny that they still have things for PSP, but I guess it's not too hard to make it available for both those systems. But I can't imagine playing GTA on a PSP. I don't know. I can't. I wonder how it reses onto that system.
Is it like the standard GTA first person, or rather third person, I guess, or is it like one of the old school top down GTAs?
No, that's the Liberty City Stories that's like basically the same style as like GTA 3, which is the third person 3D full world. I think it's basically a remake of GTA 3 Liberty City, because that was the first. Yeah, that was GTA 3 Liberty City.
I don't know GTA very well, so.
That was just a game. Like it was one of those games I never. After a while, I just quit following the storyline, and all I did when I turned it on was like use the cheat codes for like, I want a tank, I want to fight things until the cops blow me up.
Yeah, I've had one, like a friend gave it to me a long time ago, and I never did any of the quests. All I ever did was, if I was like angry that day, I got off work and I was ticked off because some customer was a jerk or whatever, I would go in there, I would steal a car, I would just run around, try to see how long I can avoid the cops, and then drive it off a bridge.
It was therapy. It was just good therapy. It's just funny because the best thing I thought in that game was if there were a bunch of cheat codes to like. And there's some great combinations of them. There's one where you could just all pedestrians have random weapons.
Oh, gosh.
And then there's another cheat code that just makes everyone aggressive, aggro, everything else that's near it. So the streets would just be chaos with like people walking up to each other, punching each other out, lighting a flamethrower, throwing grenades, cars blowing. It was just, it was like
that's
Riot
fantastic.
City. It was pretty good. That was the most fun I had with that game. And just, people just randomly trying to murder you for no reason. Love it. So Rayman Legends, that came out this week, and apparently, though on top of that, the Vita version is missing some content that is available on the other ones. Specifically, it doesn't have 28 levels. That sounds like a lot. Found in the other versions of the adventure. They're probably going to patch this in some way. There has to be like a free like digital download to get this. I can't imagine them letting this go because that's a pretty big chunk of game to be missing out on.
Yeah, really.
So I don't know how that happens. I don't know how you
slip
up and like.
How do you miss 28 levels?
I don't know. Someone at Ubisoft must have like just dropped like a zip file in the wrong folder.
Maybe
it could be on the disc. It could just be like hidden somewhere, and no one like they just forgot to like connect it to the main program. It could just be hidden on there somewhere, and no one knows where it went. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to be following that one if there's any way to fix it up. What's it called? So Sony apparently is creating their own. This just kind of sounds. I don't know. I guess this happens sometimes, but I always find it funny when it's like a first company makes a third-party production company. I mean, I guess is it still technically a third party even though it's a first party's company? Like they're not really independent of.
Right.
Anyway,
they're
so
like
Sony
second party or something.
Yeah, that's probably the right word for it. So yeah, Sony's making a third party production division, I guess because they they're working on Vita games as well as PS3 and PS4 games, but it seems like they're working on some of the big. This is the same group that made Borderlands 2 for Vita, and it looks like they just kind of need this group to make because they need someone to make games for Vita, and third parties aren't doing it themselves, so they kind of being proactive about it, which is, that's commendable. I guess, you see a problem, you got to deal with it, and this might be the it just sucks that they have to do this.
Right.
And that combined with the, indie games that they keep attracting. New releases, Rayman Legends and Kickbeat are both available this week, along with demos you can get online. Some upcoming releases, a bunch of games I'm not too familiar with, but Danganronpa 1 and 2, I don't know what that is.
Me neither.
Some other Chinese, Gundam Breaker. Now, you have to be pretty badass to break a Gundam. That is not... The only game I'm really familiar with, I could tell you, is a cool game, is God Eater. God Eater 2 was announced, and these are really cool Monster Hunter type games, but a very different take on them. It's in not dystopian, more of like post-apocalyptic future, torn up cities, crazy lion monsters running around. It's, and your weapons, I love this about God Eater, that like you don't have to pick one type of weapon. Your weapon can transform into like either ranged mode, slashing mode, or this big mouth mode. It's pretty cool. It has like some really crazy beasts in it, but this is one of those games that like I feel that it's a little bit of a sleeper hit. Like Monster Hunter type fans like who play this say that this is like the real Monster Hunter game for the hardcore players, the real plot line, but no one really knows about it. I know, but this is like just kind of the people who are into it are very into it, and it's got a cult following. How about I put it that way?
That works.
And they are vehemently defensive that it is like the most underrated of this genre of games, and I really want to try it out someday just to like kind of.
I've seen bits of it, and it certainly looks cool.
I like the lightheartedness of the Monster Hunter series. I'm not looking to feel like post-apocalypse is pretty depressing sometimes. So that might be the only thing that keeps me away from it, but I do want to try it. Yeah, I like the name of this game. We posted a trailer for this. Yeah, I don't know how they want us to pronounce that.
Squiggle line. That's what you can call it. You can call it squiggle
Yes.
line. That's what it looks like.
That's good. Or is it, let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 20. Is it 30? Is it Roman 30? The only other one I kind of really thought worth mentioning was Road Not Taken, which is coming out for PS4 and Vita. It looks like, it's one of those games where you have to get through a level, and there's obstacles, there's monsters, but every time you move a space, everything else can move a space. Mm-hmm. So, like, there's monsters coming at you, and you have to rescue these kids in the forest. But it just kind of looks really sad. Like, there's, like, the logo screen is, like, your main character face down in a snowfield, like, freezing to death.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, it looks so sad, but the art's so cute. So, like, it's very... Check out the trailer. I can't really describe it more than puzzle roguelike. I guess that's the only thing is, you have to find your way through a stage and rescue kids from a winter storm. Alright, we'll move on to some Nintendo news for you.
Yay! Stuff I actually know about.
Yes, that's fine. Were you a fan of Theater Rhythm, Final Fantasy?
I played the demo. I'm not huge on rhythm games, though. But...
is that just because you're white?
No, I'm just bad at them.
Okay.
I really shouldn't be bad at them. I play an instrument, and I was in marching band. I don't know why I'm bad at them, but I am. You would think I would have a better sense of rhythm.
Recently, Theater Rhythm Final Fantasy Curtain Call has been trademarked, which could mean we will be getting a sequel to everyone's favorite Final Fantasy themed rhythm game. And it did really well, and I think it sold a lot in digital downloads too. Everyone I know bought tons of the digital download stuff, the DLC for that game. So yeah, a sequel's inevitable, I think, since that's really did well. I also kind of want to see how did you feel about people's reaction to the 2DS? What did you feel? What was your reaction to it also first?
Well,
just kind of follow up.
At first, I kind of scratched my head like everyone else. Was like, "Is this for real?" kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then it was like, they say it's for kids, and I was like, "Well, I can see that, but." That's kind of my reaction to it. Just not. I mean, it's not. I'm not interested at all, but I'm not the demographic for it either. So.
Yeah. I mean, I have been seeing more and more people who've gotten hands-on with it kind of sound a little more understanding of it once they get to touch it. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, the big argument I've been having on the forums, if anyone wants to join in, is that, like, a kid's going to scratch that screen up so bad. He's going to throw in his backpack, he's going to jingle some keys in there, and that's going to be gone. But, then some people are like, well, kids don't care about those scratches. But, like, it doesn't matter if the kids care. It's still there.
Well, I don't know. I mean, when I was 5 years old, I got my first Game Boy. The great big brick.
Yeah.
4 double-A batteries and had that horrible green screen you couldn't see crap on. But, I mean, I was a 5-year-old kid, and that thing didn't have any kind of screen protection. Mm-hmm. But it survived. I mean, my Game Boy Color wound up with a crack through the screen eventually, but it still worked just fine. So
I just remember my Game Boy. I remember it had such a messed up screen, right? Mm-hmm. And I was so sad that I was like, it was so hard to see through it for the longest time. And I just kind of dealt with it because I went to places that were boring a lot. Like I had a cousin who lives in Pennsylvania, and I did nothing but play my Game Boy and read Nintendo Power up there. And then one day I was like, this stinks. If only the screen would come off and there'd be a new screen underneath it. And then I scratched at it and wait a second. I never took off the plastic.
Oh, God.
And it all came off, and I was like, I felt like, yay, it's reborn.
Nice.
I was so excited. I ran to my mom, and I told her, Mom, look, the screen fixed. Yeah.
It's brilliant.
So that was like a joyous moment I'll never forget. In terms of upcoming releases, nothing new was announced, but I do like this trailer for a game called Gunlord, which has an Indiegogo teaser. This looks like a crazy... So it kind of looks like a Country type game, run and gun sort of stuff, but you also jump into like a Gradius type ship. It has Metroid vibes because you turn into like a ball, and it's just like a very fast-paced shooter platformer, and it looks very intense. I highly entice everyone to look at the trailer for this game because it is pretty much the only new release that has caught my eye this week. So I'll put the trailer link for that up there.
Did we, have you discussed anything about Monster Hunter 4 that's come out since I was last on the show?
I don't know if I have since last time you were on the show. Is there something that you wanted to bring up?
I think they released a trailer, not the trailer, the cinematic. You know how they always have the opening cinematic?
Oh, yeah,
They released that in all its beautiful Tigrexy glory.
Anything new we got to see? I do like the designs of some of the monsters in this one that look more insect-like.
Yeah, the insect monster. I forget what his name is. But he's really cool because it's actually like two monsters. Because you got the big scorpion, big boss guy, but there's also like this kind of flying mantis thing that kind of has like this symbiotic relationship with this scorpion.
Okay,
it's really weird. And
that's something new and interesting.
Yeah, and then they have the spider monster too. I don't know his name either. Japanese names. Yeah. And,
very cool, very cool.
Yeah, and they have the flagship monster. They've been people have been showing off gameplay stuff of him. His name is Go Magara. He's the big black one that's at the end of the cinematic. He doesn't apparently have eyes. It's really creepy looking, and his wings are all funky. They kind of look like a cape when he has them folded back. He's really awesome.
That's cool. That's cool. Like gargoyles from the cartoon Gargoyles. And
except, like, even more horrifying.
Hey, Goliath was a gentle giant. He was not horrifying.
Go Margara is not a gentle giant.
Okay.
He stomps a Tigrex in the neck and kills it.
That's mean.
Oof.
That is just mean. Then again, no one likes Tigrex, so that's okay. But that's really cool. I'll definitely have to put that up on the Sunday trailers this week. Do we know anything else about the new weapons that are coming out in that? That's like the thing that most interests me.
They have the two new weapon types. They feature the one in the cinematic is the what are they calling it? I don't know the Japanese name. I think it's called Neopteran Handler. When the translated English they've been throwing around, but it's the staff.
Okay, they just call it the stick. The stick?
The staff, and it has like this bug on your arm that you can throw at a monster and it comes back and it gives you a buff. Based on whatever
so they're using that symbiotic thing on there
too,
huh?
But
interesting.
The staff is awesome in that it's like the only weapon that can actually launch you into the air. You can like do like a pole vault. Everything else you have to jump off of something like a ledge or something like that if you want to get airborne. But I
gotcha. Is that how you get on like their backs and go stab in their necks?
Yep. And the other weapon is the charge axe, which is kind of like the
switch axe.
Well, yeah, it's like the cousin to the switch axe, but it's more like a sword and shield rather than say like a great sword. You know how the switch axe goes in the sword mode and it handles kind of like a great sword. You're kind of slow when you have it out. Well, this one handles a little bit more like a sword and shield. But it's kind of weird. You have to look at a video of it.
All right, so shall we move on? We're going to save the Pokemon Center for the end because we've got all stuff to talk about that. So let's just jump right into mobile news and we'll get on our way to the final topic, yeah?
I have a piano lesson at 4 o'clock. But now it's 3:30. And today is a good day to die!
So for mobile news, I just saw this before we started recording. There's a newly released Google Play app on the Android market. It's kind of like the Game Center for Google Play, which I think a lot of people have been looking for, some sort of unified, way to like link up with your friends, see what they're playing, get multiplayer games going. But it crashed when Amelie downloaded it on her phone, and it seems like other people using certain models are just having a trouble getting it to run right now. So we'll see if it's just the model. Maybe there'll be a patch, maybe they'll change it. But right now, can't get it to load up. I just saw there was a Konami released a Star Wars CCG on Android and iOS. I hate almost all these kind of games on this. I can't see how the gameplay is on this. I just hope it's more than, throw cards at each other and who spent more money wins.
Right.
But I don't know. It's the Star Wars license, which you want it to be good, but it's rarely used well. Mm-hmm. The only good thing I really liked, though, I thought this was an adorable trailer for a game called Backyard Battles. They just had a trailer of this at PAX Prime, which is going on this week. It kind of looks like a very simple strategy game with kids in the backyard, and they're all dressed up in different costumes, like soldiers or wizards, and they're kind of like playing an imaginary game. You get to build a fort, it looks like a cardboard box fort. And then you go and you deploy troops on a very small grid. So it looks like a very simple, quick strategy game, but it's kids fighting other kids to knock down cardboard forts. The way I thought of it, it's kind of like the Team Fortress of tactics games.
Okay.
It's cute. Check out the trailer. I'll link to it. The metagame. Okay. I'm still looking if anyone is, as you could tell from my knowledge of Android games, I need someone who wants to be a mobile or our mobile correspondent and who can kind of cover those things on the podcast. So if you have any interest in those things and you have a sultry voice, do email me, message us, or leave a comment and let me know. We'd love to have you on the show. And as always, check out the deals of the week on the site. The big one this week, people seem to be clicking on the most, is the Ace Attorney Investigations, Miles Edgeworth, for $18. That seems to be the deal that a lot of people have been attracted to this week. And if you haven't gotten that, I didn't think it was my favorite. It's definitely not my favorite of the Phoenix Wright series, but it's a Phoenix Wright game nonetheless, and Amelie just booed.
Hey, I like Edgeworth too. He's awesome.
That's right. Damn right. Edgeworth. He's the man. I named my cat after that. Oh, man, she's saying he sucks. And I'm going to... Oh, the game, not him. No. You insult the game, you insult the man. Okay.
Not only is Edgeworth awesome, he can wear a magenta coat with a frilly jabbet and get away with it.
Yeah, that's right. Magenta. Magenta is the color of testosterone. All right.
Anyway.
All right. Moving on to the main topic.
Woot woot.
Today was the epic Pokemon Direct, which I thought was going to have some info on Pokemon X and Y, but it turned out to be a veritable, just a big dumping station of new stuff I didn't expect there to be. Mm-hmm. And some really good surprises were revealed here. The first thing, it kind of opened up with the history lesson. Was there anything really in there that, it was just kind of like memory lane, nostalgia stuff. They always like to build you up to remind you, you've liked this since you were 10. Just to get you in the right mindset here.
Well, I've liked this since I was a freshman in high school. That's when it came out. But anyway. Not quite 10.
After the history lesson, what did you feel was like the most interesting or surprising reveal of the night?
Oh, definitely the bank.
Pokemon Bank. Okay, so yeah, we dive right into that. So why don't you give us a kind of an idea of what this was, what this reveal was, in case someone hadn't watched the Pokemon Direct?
And if you haven't, why? Go watch it now. It's on YouTube.
It's also on our website.
Yes, it's also on our website, which is right. But anyway. Basically, it is an online version of Pokemon Box or Pokemon Ranch. It's a storage thing that you can get, but rather than, storing it on a GameCube thing like you did with Box or on your Wii like you did with Ranch, it's uploaded to an internet server. And it has, 3,000 Pokemon is the current limit. So yeah, that's going to be there for a while.
That's a lot of boxes.
And they've said that it's going to be compatible with future Pokemon games as well. Mm-hmm. So this is going to be a really nice way to transfer your Pokemon from one generation to the next. No longer will you require... If you don't have a friend near you who will let you borrow their 3DS, no longer does it require that you have 2 3DSs and 2 games and you stick them together and you trade them one by one over and over and over. It was so
monotonous. And it was very, very hard to always do. And they always had those, they're kind of fun, but they just kind of waste time. Those mini games, they always had to make it.
The stupid little bow thing where you had to hit the thing with a Pokeball or whatever it was.
Right. And then in in Platinum, you had the thing where you had to go into that park
and recatch everything.
Yeah, and it made no sense because it's you just threw a Pokeball and it caught them. It was auto catch them. They couldn't get away. It was just using Master Balls basically. So it's just run around until you encounter it. Why?
Right.
Why do I want to do this?
Very pointless.
Yeah, it really was. I really don't know what they were thinking with that stuff. So yeah, this is also going to have a small fee attached to it, though. Mm-hmm. $5 for the year. Yep. Which I guess I guess that's pretty reasonable.
Yeah, Kotaku said it was going to be 500 yen annually. So right. $5 roughly gets you a whole year's worth. That's not that bad.
They'll probably make it $4.99.
Probably.
Yeah. Or they'll charge you how many Wii or 3DS points.
That would be 500 Wii points? 500 points?
Yeah. Yeah, something like that. I still want to transfer my Wii points over to my 3DS. Damn it.
Oh, I know. Me too.
But it was kind of funny that, what's his name? Iwata even kind of said, hey, we've been talking about this for 5 years now.
Yeah, they wanted to do it back in Crystal. And
right.
They couldn't do it. I guess technology just wasn't really there.
Yeah. But now, see, I'm curious if... and they also announced that there was that other thing that you could transfer from other games.
Pokemon Transporter. That was for you can transfer your Black and White and Black 2 White 2 Pokemon to the Pokemon Bank, and then withdraw the Pokemon from your bank onto your XD or XY.
I know. They know this is gonna make bank. That's why they named it that.
Yeah, really.
Booyah. But so you could transfer them from those games too, and in the future. And so I just wonder if there's going to be any kind of what's going to be the restriction, if any. Can you just take anybody's cartridge or any and just kind of transfer them to that cloud? Because that'll make me go back to Pokemon poaching. I
remember you telling us about that.
I would go out, I would buy used Pokemon games, steal all the Pokemon off it onto my games, and then bring it back and return it to GameStop. This is bring that all back. I'll just take the game, transfer them to the cloud, bring it back in one shot. Nice. This will make my job much easier.
Oh, jeez.
So yeah, it kind of feels like now with them putting this on a future basis, this is now a cloud where you can officially keep them forever and ever. It kind of feels like it's another step towards that whole MMO online always kind of Pokemon thing. We've always more or less people have been kind of craving for, and I guess I could see this really integrating in the future titles where it's I don't know, if we want to battle online, maybe if your account is linked to this, you could just pick, all right, for this battle I want to just make a team out of these 6 guys that are on there already, or I don't know. It might be better for competitions in the future because they could just check if your whole collection is legit, and if there's any hacked ones, you're not banned forever.
Yeah, that would work. I'm kind of curious for a couple things. A, will you be able to keep hold items on the Pokemon when you transfer them?
Because that's true. Because that's something that you really can't let into future games, especially if it's in, let's say they're holding an HM or something like that.
Well, you can't transfer HMs and stuff from, like, Pokemon Diamond over to Black and White.
Right, but can you transfer them to the bank while they're holding it? Or do you have to, like, get rid of that before you transfer them onto there? Or, like, even certain berries. Maybe berries don't have the same effect in the future game. They don't want them.
I don't think you can transfer from, like, Gen 5 through the transporter to the bank. I think it's just, or not Gen 5, Gen 4, through the transporter to the bank. I think it's just Gen 5. And you can't make in Gen 5, you can't make them hold TMs, can you? Because they're one use only? Or not one use only. I'm getting so confused. they're
HMs.
Yeah, they're not one use only anymore. They're
right. Okay, yeah. So they wouldn't be able to hold. I still go. Yeah, that's true. They might not. They might have gotten rid of the ability to make them hold that since there was no more reason to trade TMs.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, that makes sense. All right.
But as far as like berries go. Because remember, you had to go through the dream world to get these berries, because you couldn't transfer them from Gen 4, and some of them you could only get if you, like, participated in tournaments and crap, and it was a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
And I want to keep my berries now that I got them, thank you.
Yeah, and, considering, if this is going to be a free download with the $5 fee, so, attached to it, I mean, if you compare it... If anyone thinks that's a little weird, if you compare it, think the Pokemon box game, which was really nothing but a Pokemon box for GameCube or GameCube. That was $60.
Yep.
People shelled out big money for that, and
I got it.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah, I got it.
How did you like it?
It was useful, but I mean, I don't know. $60 was a bit much, but.
Yeah,
I'm a huge Pokemon nerd. I would have done it anyway.
How about Pokemon Ranch, which had its own fun in its own right, but really they didn't make it even compatible with Platinum.
Yeah, well, they did in Japan. They just never brought it over here because they're derps.
That's pretty derpy.
Very derpy.
Yeah, so that was a big letdown. That was where I was hoping to really have a collection from multiple games and just kind of see them all together in one big place like that. But that fell through. Now, I wonder if they're going to ever add any kind of mini-game system with this. I would like to be able to, maybe do something other than just look at them in there. I wonder if there's going to be any kind of other little fun features they're going to reveal about this bank. I don't know.
They could do, a Pokemon Ranch thing when you upload so many Pokemon, you get a gift Pokemon.
Oh, even something like that, I don't know, just some silly little mini games so I could feel like I'm interacting with them in some way would be kind of cool. But, I wonder if they're I guess, because normally their loyalty to the trainer gets set back to 0 when they go to a new trainer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just wondering if that's going to, hold true when they're stored in that box, even if they come back to the game they came from. Does it know?
I don't know how it worked in Ranch.
Yeah,
with the loyalty, so I don't know if that'll affect it or not.
Okay.
What I would really like to see, though, kind of added on to this whole bank idea, is the idea of having, a persistent ID.
Yes, that's kind of what I'm thinking of, right.
Okay, I'm playing X and Y, and a new generation comes out. Or even just a Ruby Sapphire remake or whatever. Oh, please do that. But normally you start the game, you get a new trainer ID, and now all the Pokemon that are still yours, but they're over in this other game. If you trade them there, they'll treat your character like it's a totally different person. Right. What I would like to see is a persistent ID where they stay your Pokemon no matter what game you put them on.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, the kind of thing I would love to see because, I don't even care if I don't get the XP bonus because, that was the only advantage them counting as traded because they got the XP bonus. But, not obeying you. I was I'd rather you just be mine. And
then I can rename you whenever I want.
rename you. You stay loyal. And I don't have to worry about you because I had a problem in some of the games where they would level up too fast. Mm-hmm. And now I'm all right, I didn't want you to level up because now you're disobeying me. And you're too far ahead. I can't even use you because you're 10 levels ahead of everyone else. And I feel like I can't use you, otherwise you're just going to dust and be the only guy I ever use.
Right.
So So yeah, that's actually brilliant. A persistent ID that you could identify with, and then like register, and then if there was some way to see what other people's collections are, if you could peruse other players, and then that's how you could find trades, that would be much better. And then like even maybe like throw offers on the table, say, oh, I see this thing, I'm gonna just like send a message like, hey, I like your Palkia, what about my Rattata, you want that?
As long as there is a way to block it if you don't want trade requests, because I can see that getting spammed really bad.
Maybe if you could put like a want list.
There you go.
You know, and even the want list, especially if they include things like I want one with these IVs or this nature, if they really let you like make a want list, then I could see people really getting into the trading aspect again.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know. I would even hunt for things for people. Like say like, oh, Stevie wants a shiny Bidoof. I'm totally going to get him one of those. All right. So Pokemon Bank definitely opens up a very interesting prospect for future games. And you're going to get this? You're going to pay the $5? You're going to use this?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
And in any case, they said there's going to be like a free trial period.
Okay.
At the beginning, so you can try it out, see if you like it. If you're not going to use it, you don't have to pay. If you like it, pay for it. It's $5.
And if you forget to pay and you don't take your Pokemon out, they hold them hostage.
That they haven't. I don't know what happens to it. Does it just stay on their servers and you just lose access to it, or is your stuff gone? Because that would be bad.
Execute them all. Line up the Pokemon. Execute them. They don't have to. Sorry, time to euthanize Squirtle. Speaking of Squirtle,
great segue.
I thought that this was awesome and very surprising when they announced that they
Mega Evolutions, even more of them.
Yes. Well, even before that, yes, they're going to be putting in the original starters: Squirtle, Charmander, and Bulbasaur. Are going to be they're actually going to be the ones that the professor in this game gives you, and it's some friend of yours that gives you this new starter Pokemon. But yes, and the starters all have Mega Evolutions. So yes, there's Mega Bulbasaur, yes, Mega Charizard, and Mega
Bulbasaur. I'd love to see that. Mega Venusaur.
Mega Venusaur, Mega Charizard, and Mega Blastoise.
Yep. And now, they look fantastic.
They do look pretty cool. Though I thought it was weird in the video. They show like Mega Blastoise doing like water attack.
And it's coming out of his mouth.
Yeah, what's up with that? He has a giant cannon!
He has 3 cannons now.
3 cannons! Why are you using your mouth?
He kind of looks like a robot master for Mega Man with the arm cannons.
Oh. Pew, 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 pew. I totally get that vibe from him.
And I love the Mega Charizard because, of course, I love fire types. And I love Charizard, and they made a Mega one, and now I'm torn because I think you can only have 1 Mega Evolution on your team at a time.
Yeah, they've been very weird because they haven't really told us too much about how it happens. They just kind of said you use an ability in battle, and they'll hit it. Masuda, he said something kind of cryptic that I thought was interesting in here. During a battle, I think there'll be a moment where the player's feelings seem to go into the game and combine with their Pokemon. And that's when Mega Evolutions happen.
Okay.
What the hell does that mean? This sounds very Digimon-y. This sounds like when you and the Digimon merge, you can now go into Avatar mode or something. I don't know. I just feel like he's cryptically hinting at...
Yeah, that was kind of strange.
Maybe it is, like you said, though. Maybe it is, like, one that you have to, like... Maybe you can only pick, like, your favorites.
That was what I was under the impression, that you can only have one on your team at a time. That could make it evolve. But, oh god, if it is... How do I choose between a Charizard with Drought, for Pete's sake? Freaking awesome. And Blaziken, Mega Blaziken, who's like my favorite. It's like,
I am curious now that would add, if it is just, that would add an interesting strategic element, since you would have to, pick which one guy to give the Mega Evolution to on your team, and that would weigh heavily on how you customize your team. And some people might have the exact same team, but they pick someone different for their Mega, and that could totally change a dynamic, which would definitely add another level to the strategy, and I think I would be okay with that. I think that would be another interesting way to add depth to the game without adding ridiculousness. Now, and they also mentioned there's this Mega Ring that they have to have equipped, which I'm just guessing is a plot device.
Yeah, it's probably just like what are they called? Key item.
Yes. Now, also, this is the other quote that I was kind of concerned about. All right, so this was the one where they said, I want to see what happens to every single Pokemon. Every single one? Like, he's talking about the Mega Evolutions.
Well, I don't think he meant every single Pokemon gets a Mega Evolution. I think he meant every single Pokemon that gets a Mega Evolution. He can't wait to see.
Between Pokemon trainers is very important. I want to see what happens. I don't know. The whole quote...
The connection, I think, is alluding to the super training again. That you're going to have to go through all that training before you can make it evolve.
I don't know, because the whole quote, he was like, I like to imagine what every Pokemon will look like in its super evolution. And its, Mega Evolution. I mean, it could just be a trend. Maybe I am reading into it, but it did sound almost like... And we've seen so many so far.
Well, I mean, we've got... What? We got Blaziken. We've got the Kanto starters. We've got Absol, Mawile, Mewtwo, Lucario, and Ampharos. Right? Did I miss any?
Kangaskhan, Mewtwo, Ampharos, Blaziken, Mawile, Absol, yes, and Lucario. So yeah, that was the only one you missed of these revealed so far.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure there's going to be some others yet, but I really can't see them doing Mega Evolutions for... How many Pokemon is it now? Like 500 bazillion?
I'm just curious, I'm just curious what the limits are going to be, how many, in fact, they're going to be. I get the feeling that they're going to do this to a lot of ones that have been underused in the past.
That or just give them another evolution. Just do something with them.
I feel like,
have mercy on Dunsparce, for Pete's sake.
I feel like, once I saw Mawile, I'm like, you know what, they're going to give one to Farfetch'd. He's due, man.
Hey, I called Kangaskhan. I totally called Kangaskhan.
I want to see Farfetch'd turn into a samurai. I want him to dual wield blades. Maybe he'll have a ninja mask.
Well, it's kind of one of the things that ticked me off about Black and White, about Gen 5, because there were at least a couple Pokemon in there that were clearly intended when they were designed to be evolutions of existing Pokemon.
Right.
And then they came along and said, we don't want to have any evolutions of existing Pokemon. It's all going to be new now. And then they just turned them into new Pokemon. And it's kind of like, why didn't... There's two Pokemon being Bouffalant, which clearly looks like an evolution of Tauros.
Right.
And Alomomola, which clearly looks like an evolution of Luvdisc. Who really needs a frickin' evolution? Come on.
So why didn't they do that, you think?
I don't know. I don't know, and it drives me up a wall.
I just wonder how much, because if they don't have enough Mega Evolutions, it means you have to have at least one of a very limited number of Pokemon on your team. So these are all just going to be default OU to Ubers, just because there's so few of them. There has to be enough, but alright, so obviously they can't do every single Pokemon, but there has to be a lot of options. Otherwise, it's really going to, I feel like, it's going to restrict competitive play, because now you have to pick one of these guys, and that guy is going to be he's going to be a linchpin of your team. You're probably going to base your team around who your Mega Evolution is. Mm-hmm. Let's say there's only, let's say there ends up being 20 Mega Evolutions. There'll be that many teams, if not some varieties of it, but that's going to limit the types of strategy, I feel like, unless they have a pretty impressive number. I feel like there's going to be more than we expect.
Yeah. I just hope it's not one per type or something like that. I mean,
let's see. Yeah, so far.
Because so far it's pretty much one per type. We got, psychic, dark, electric, normal.
Oh, that would be even worse. That would
I
really
know.
annoy me.
That would be bad. I hope they don't do that. I hope they have more than that.
Yeah, okay. All right, so I'm interested to see though, but I am now at least interested in this. I'm not writing it off as just like a ploy. Like I'm very, if anyone's listening to this, they know my initial reaction to anything is cynicism, and then I will warm up to it as you prove it to me, as you prove something is cool to me. This is starting to sound more like a feasible and beneficial thing to the series.
I just had a brilliantly devious idea.
Mm-hmm.
Make a team out of all the Pokemon, just all 6 of Pokemon that can Mega Evolve.
Oh, and no one knows
which one. And no one knows which one it is.
Interesting. That is a pretty good devious trick there. Unless people.
Of course, if I did that, everyone would know it would be Blaziken. That's the Mega Evolution, so that kind of fails.
But anyone else could do that,
right?
See, I'm kind of like that too. Like I make a lot of strategies for games like this and some other games where like as long as you don't know what my strategy is, it works. But if you ever play me more than once, once you know my strategy, it can't hold up. It only holds up when you don't know what I'm doing. And just to give a off-topic kind of like example of this, I was in a tournament for the Dot Hack card game.
Mm-hmm.
And I was very proud of this very devious strategy that like plays super defensive, and then it has like one attack that just wins in like out of nowhere. Like I have nothing on the field, I have nothing offensive. Then all of a sudden I would attack, and I beat this one guy with it, and he was totally blown out. I was like, oh my god! And then he was like, guys, everyone, come here! Look how he beat me! And I'm like, no! Once they know how I beat you,
and then you never won another match.
He screwed me over after that. No, exactly. The next guy, he sideboarded into his deck something that like there was a very simple card that if you kept it in your hand the whole game and waited for me to do this stunt victory, it would just totally shut it down. But the only reason I won is because most people don't put it in their decks. They don't see this coming, and they're not ready for it with that. But they just put in this one card that could like pretty much shut it down, which really ticked me off because I was like, he made sure everyone in the tournament knew what I was doing. I don't think he did it maliciously. I just think he did it stupidly.
Right.
It's like, son of a gun. Anyway,
I just want to say that I am so freaking happy about X and Y.
I can tell.
Because, Black and White just really didn't do anything for me. It really didn't. Out of all the generations of Pokemon, it just really didn't do anything for me. I didn't care for the vast majority of the designs. I don't know, the region just didn't really capture me for some reason, although you think it would. I mean, it's freaking New York, but I don't know, it just didn't do anything for me, and I really do not like rotation battles. Or the triple battles.
They just tried, and they did some okay things, but nothing phenomenal. And I think that's the thing, and I feel like it's almost too modern. Like, I feel like I loved Soul Silver and Heart Gold because it still captured a lot of the original game's appeal, and you went to new places and you went to old places, and I felt it was a nice mixture. And this felt all new, and I liked the characters. I just feel it didn't have anything that really set it apart from the other games.
Mm-hmm.
It just felt like another chapter. It had good story. That was like the first game that had a good story, and that was why I liked it. But I just feel that in gameplay, I was just doing the same thing I've done several times before. And I was just hoping for something new.
As far as the story goes, I mean, I like N.
And he's probably the best thing. He's probably the best thing.
I don't like Getsus at all, but I liked N. Well, I liked N because he was one of those villains. He was an antagonist, but he wasn't a villain. Right?
He was, right.
He was against you, but he was doing it because he felt that was the right thing to be doing, because he'd been so misled for his whole life.
He was a moral gray area,
right?
Hence Black and White.
And then Getsus come along, and he's like, "I'm going to take over the world," right. And it's like so 2D and flat of a character, and it's just
right.
Which
I mean, they almost were there.
Yeah, which is why I'm kind of glad they're going back to like the old Team Rocket style of villain, in the X and Y. They're criminals and they want money. I mean,
I don't know. I'm going to disagree with you a little bit. I like to guess this as a villain because I didn't. I like the villains too much in a lot of the games that I don't want to see them fail. Like Giovanni, he's so awesome.
Giovanni is awesome.
I don't want to defeat him almost. Guess this. I'm totally down for kicking his butt. I want to kick his butt. I feel total. And
well, yeah,
cool
I wanted to kick X's butt, but I don't know. It's like I didn't like the villains too much in 3rd gen either. Like Ruby Sapphire, because they were just so ridiculous. I mean, they had cool. I mean, they're great for cosplayers. They had awesome costumes, but story-wise, they were just stupid. So freaking stupid.
I feel like the black and white generation might have been better without Black and White 2. I feel like that made it feel. I don't know, like we were there too much. I don't know. It might. I
would have been very happy with a Pokemon Gray rather than a Black 2 and White 2.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm a little iffy on that too. I played Platinum and like I felt like I couldn't get into it unless I tried a Nuzlocking it. So that was the only reason I even tried Platinum.
See, I guess
I don't know what I want. I guess I don't know what I really would want from these games at this point. I feel that we've been in the same type for so long that, think of it this way. Black and White 2 are the last games of the regular DS ones. They are the most advanced, but they're the closest to the next leap in the series. So they're going to seem underwhelming because we're so close to the next big changes. And I think that's the only reason I feel that it comes up short.
I suppose.
I don't know. That's just my theory. Throwing that out there for you. So are you going to get one of these, or at least like, they officially announced the X and Y bundles with the for America too?
Well, they're not bundles though. They're just the XLs, right?
Oh, right. Yes, you're right. I'm sorry about that. Yes, they do. They announced the 3DS XLs with the X and Y, I guess, decorations on it in both red and blue.
Yep. And it's not the gold one with the Xerneas and the very busy design with the starters. It's the other one, but it's available in red and blue.
Yes, and they'll be available for $200, which is a good price for a 3DS XL, isn't it?
It is. I want one. I want one, but I really don't have $200 to be spending on something if I don't absolutely need it.
Yeah. See, this is the thing. It's like, unlike, I can't walk around. I couldn't get the Pikachu one because it's just too, Pikachu. Right. This you could walk around with. This you don't have to feel silly about having this collector's edition.
Yeah, I'm still hoping to get one of those clear plastic cases for my shiny red, fire red 3DS that I have, and then like painting a design on it.
Oh, very cool, original.
Yes.
All right. Well, was there anything else that you wanted to kind of hit upon from this big, from today's announcements, or anything that you noticed that you would want to kind of mention?
There was a Pokemon that they haven't announced yet that briefly appeared in the video.
Oh.
He kind of looks like a sheep. Let me find it for you. Hold on.
That's all we need, another sheep Pokemon.
Bulbapedia, don't fail me now.
Oh, he looks like Sheep Absol.
Or maybe like a poodle, kind of.
Maybe, or maybe an alpaca. Does that sound right?
Yeah, I can kind of see that with his neck being so long there.
Yeah, it kind of has the alpaca look.
Very long ears, looks like.
Yeah, I'm going to call him Alshaka. I'll whack ya?
Oh, jeez.
They should just hire me now to name all the Pokemon. I'll smack ya. That's it. It's going to call it I'll smack ya.
There you go.
Done. Anyway, so yeah, that is interesting that they can. And they had to do that intentionally. They don't do anything by accident.
I don't know. It was only in there for like half a second, probably.
Yeah, but they know people are going to catch that.
They
know people are going to see that. He has crazy Goku hair. It does. It has like Super Saiyan hair that's not yellow. It's just like, yeah, he looks like a punk rocker.
He's a punk sheep.
All right, that's something to look forward to finding out about. So there's been a lot of reveals. We're going to see a lot of different guys coming out, and I just wonder how many we're going to not see when the game comes out. At this rate, we're going to probably see them almost all, I'm guessing.
I'm still waiting for starter evolutions. I want to know what they turn into before I choose one.
That's true. That is the key to those things. I don't know. I try to this is the first time I've looked at what anything looks like before I play the game. I always try to go into them like almost not knowing and just like trusting my instinct. But I remember I was very let down by which one was it? I did not like what what's his name? The Piplup turns into.
Oh, Empoleon.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I would know more of his middle evolution, actually. His middle evolution, I was so disappointed. I was like, oh man, you better evolve again quick. And then it was like, okay, this is better than that, but I'm still not like happy with you. All right, so we've covered everything there. So that sounds like a lot of really good stuff to look forward to. We'll probably have to, when the game finally comes out, we're going to have everybody on the show. I'm probably going to get Joey on for that one when we all get our hands on X and Y, and we're going to do another big Pokemon show on that. So stay tuned for October 12th when that happens, or a week after October 12th.
Yeah, give us a little time to play it, Casey.
All right, you got 1 week. You better beat the game.
Oh, God.
All right. Well, thank you, Rain, for coming on, as always, as a very special guest. And thanks to everyone for listening. Please visit the website at thepocketplayers.com. You can give us a rating or subscribe to us on the podcast app on your iPhone, or just download us from the website as well. Please tell your friends, share, spread the word. Thanks, as always, to Mr. Halk, Protodome, and Will Rock for the music. And until next time, everybody,
keep it in your pocket.